Alright, the next one we're going to be doing is the Bryce Bling. Okay, I've just been changing the directions a little bit. We are going to now go into Illustrator to start off with. The whole point of this is that we're going to take an Illustrator, something from Illustrator, and bring it into Bryce. So we're going to start off by making a 3 by 3 square. The reason that we're using a square is because in Bryce, everything works on a square format. All right, a perfect square, because we need to bring over the image in a square format. We need to bring anything we map onto a surface needs to be in a square format, just so it stays proportional. So I'm going to create this brand new document, 3 inches by 3 inches. And it should be coming up. I have Bryce open, file, new document. I'm not going to save that. When I'm going to make a new document, I always set it to max recommended, and I check that off, and that should fit onto your screen. Here's the new document that I made in Illustrator. Control 0 just so I can see it. And we're going to be using the type tool to create our name or whatever. The whole inspiration for this is that we need to have a cool looking some bling for our snowman if we're going to be doing that. So I click once with the type tool. I'm going to make my name Fiend Dog, D-O-double-G, because I'm cool like that. Control 0. I'm going to make this kind of fill the space, because it doesn't really matter where it's located, but when it shows up inside of your symmetrical lattice that we're going to map it onto, you want it to be kind of in the center. I like I right click on this and go to font, and I'm going to choose, I liked Old English. You can choose any font that you want. Old English starts with an O, so hopefully it's down here. I wish this went a little faster. That's okay. There it is, Old English. There it is. That looks like a pretty fancy text that I would put onto a necklace, right? I am now going to go to File, Export, Export As. This is going to be my bling name. Obviously, I'm going to use the artboards, okay? Not going to use anything else. Export. And I should get some export options here. High is fine. High resolution, 300 ppi. I'm okay with that. Press OK. And then I'm going to go into my Bryce file, and I'm going to make a symmetrical lattice. Just like we did with the jersey. I'm going to go to the Edit menu. I'm going to go to Picture. And I'm going to import that Bryce Bling image, which should be, there it is. Obviously, again, it's black on white. Black is the lowest depth, and white, which was the background, is the highest depth. So it's just opposite. I need to invert it. Okay, there we go. The white and then the black screen. Good. So now I have this here. It's very elongated, so I'm going to squish it. I'm going to turn it. As I turn it, I'm going to go into the X and rotate it towards the camera. I'm going to hold Shift. All right, I can see it's already opposite, so I'm going to go to the Y and turn it around, make sure it's there. I can hold Shift if I want to, but I make sure that it's facing up. I'm all types of messed up. And then I will turn it in the... Make sure you're set to object space. That's going to help us too. So I'm going to unrotate this, set it to object space, and now I should be able to see this a little bit better. And then rotate it towards me this direction. There we go. Apparently the Z is what we're using. Alright, now that I've got that done, what we're going to do is we're going to play with our materials. When we go into our materials, I'm showing you the materials library. The materials library is extensive. We are going to go into metals. I like a nice gold precious metal, so I'm going to use precious metals and maybe a nice gold yellow or maybe a polished gold. Check it off. I should see it here. If I want to view it on the actual selection, I change the view down here to the actual selection, and I can view it up close if I need to. There it is. I can see it a little bit better, and I check that off. I can zoom in now using the XZ, and if I render this, I'm looking pretty good. The next step is to make the chain. If you're going to do this, you've done the basic operation, which is bringing over a file from Illustrator. You've done a great job. Now I'm going to kind of play around with understanding how to use the torus. Alright, the torus, I can edit this. I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier. I'm dragging to the left. And I'm going to make some chain links. This is where we get into the technical part. I'm going to go to press 2, overhead. This is my torus. I want to put the torus right by the chain, and I'm going to rotate it slightly in the Y. I'm going to press Control plus to zoom in. And I'm going to scale this down a little bit. Chain links are supposed to be smaller than the actual necklace, unless you're making a pretty amazing necklace. Alright, I'm going to go back to the tilde. Obviously I was in the wrong height, so I can look at it from the side. Here, this is from the side. Control plus to zoom in a little bit and move it up to in this direction, and then I should be almost exactly where I need to be. I'm going to scale this down slightly more, and now I'm going to start making chain links. I'm going to duplicate this and move it over, and then rotate it, and rotate it again. And here I'm going to actually, I need to look at this from all directions. So I'm going to go to the trackball, and actually, if you're in the director's chair, you can do this. Go to center to selection. Make sure you're in the director's chair. And I'm going to center around that selection. I can see in all ways the actual object will be where the camera is kind of rotating around. And this is a lot easier for us to see when we're working with this. That looks pretty good. Chain link is in there solidly. I'm now going to take the chain link. If I made one chain link, I'm going to duplicate this chain link again and then move it up. And then I'm actually going to rotate this. Watch what happens when I rotate it. It's actually going to rotate the individual links. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to rotate the group of links. So I'm going to group these together and then rotate them slightly so it looks like it's curving up. That makes sense? Move this over. So I'm taking the actual object and rotating the object. Alright, now that I've got all of these, I like it. I'm going to make sure I don't select that camera in the background. Select this group. Group it all together. Duplicate it. And then I'm going to rotate this. Hopefully it's going to be set to object space. Great. Rotate again. And I should be getting this all together. Once I've got that looking very nice, why not just take this, duplicate it, put it on the other side, maybe group it together, and then rotate it around. And now I've got a good looking necklace. Zooming in a little bit so I can see it a little bit better with the camera dollies. And I'm going to render this. I don't want the plane in there. That makes it hard to see the actual thing. That looks wonderful. I'm going to save this file and the BMP and then turn in the BMP to the turn-in folder.